Hey Libra, it's Amanda here. I'm going to do your love reading for April 2019. I am going to do the soulmate spread that I do, soulmate twin flame, love interest, for April 2019. For you, I'll pull 4 cards and see what your heart space looks like and what's going on with your energy, how you're feeling about things, and what might be coming up for you as far as energy and things like that. And then towards the end, I'll do the same for your love interest, soulmate, twin flame, and see where their heart space and energy is as well. So just gonna shuffle through them one more time here, and I'll cut it and go. Libra, April 2019. I'm using the Goliath deck, the Goliath Tarot. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's do this. The Hermit, the Nine of Wands in reverse, Justice in reverse, and the Sun. Okay, so it looks like, there had been a time of isolation or will be coming up for April. You may just be looking inward, not for the approval of others, but just to find some inner knowing. Maybe something happens, not necessarily to you, it just maybe puts you in a state where you want to go into some introspection. Also, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse, so this is not going over everything. It's like there's something more you're searching inward for, because normally the Nine of Wands, it's like the review process, the last step before the end of a cycle. It's like that isn't the reason why. For me, it's the darkness before the dawn, but it's in reverse, so it's like there's a lack of that. Maybe you're feeling like you aren't able to get the time to go inward, you feel like you have to. If that isn't the case for you, I would say that it isn't for the purpose of reviewing a situation over and over. It's deeper than that. There's more to it. Maybe you're recognizing something happening, but because the Justice in reverse, it's like something wasn't fair, or there was a lack of judgment. It's not necessarily judgment. It's like something didn't go right and you knew it. And it's not the details, the tangible details that you could go over and over. It's not what they said or this or that. It was something else around it. And then we have the Sun. So this is kind of an up and down energy for you, Libra. And you are the Justice card as well. So it's going inward or not being able to, because something wasn't balanced. And then all of a sudden it's the Sun and you find the answer. It's like you have an epiphany because of this weird energy that you had to introspect about. And the bottom of the deck was the Three of Pentacles. And so the overall energy for you is wanting to build on something. So maybe because something hasn't come full circle yet, maybe you haven't been able to get some sort of you and your love interest maybe are planning something, or you thought that you had made progress in something, and all of a sudden it's like you aren't able to kind of review and cross the T's and dot the I's so that you can get over the whatever it is you thought that you'd settled with them, or some sort of goal. It's like you thought you were just about done, the work part had been done, and there was just some touching up and pushing it out forward. But for some reason it's good, because it's whatever it is that happened that might have set you back, it comes with the Sun behind it. So it was almost like it was meant to be that way for some reason. It was because of this, it might have been something that threw you off, but it was needed, because that's 3 major arcanas so far for you. So it was something that you might not feel was supposed to happen, maybe a little unexpected. But whatever this introspection is that you do for some deeper meaning, it might be hard for you to explain it in a way. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. Not that it's hard for me to explain it. It's just like the reason why you kind of go in and feel like there's some deeper thing that you need to sense into for you and your inner knowing. It's like whatever it is, it's not something that if you tried to explain, it would make much sense once you said it out loud, if that makes sense. Let's see what's going on for Libras. Ooh, whoops. Let's see what's going on for your love interests for April. Sorry, these cards are super slippery. They're really laminated. They're beautiful, but yeah, they slip right off my hands sometimes. What's going on for Libra's love interest, soulmate, twin flame for April 2019? What does their energy look like, and how is their heart space looking? Libra's love interest. The World in reverse, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, Nature, and this. Okay, so they're all reversed, so I'm going to flip them up. That's just kind of a thing I do. So the World is a major life event. It's like something that comes full cycle. It's finishing something, but well, maybe I shouldn't have turned them upside down. But anyway, just for the sake of the reading. The Two of Pentacles, this is kind of reflecting a little bit of what you have going on, because it's like the World is a full cycle thing. It was like something wasn't able to be moved forward on, that was it anticipated that it would go that way, and that you didn't have like much more actual effort to put into it. It was just kind of going through the stages of cycling out. But this was something big, and then you had the Sun here, okay? And then the indicator of like not being able to put the last touches on something. And then they have, you know, the World. And then after that, it's the Two of Pentacles, which you got the Justice in reverse. So there was some sort of unbalance. And it's like the Two of Pentacles in reverse is lacking or a faded out version of balancing out things, and in a tangible way, like a decision or like just a new responsibility that you guys have on your plate, or they have on their plate, or just like money maybe, anything in the tangible form or that holds value to them. It's like on being able to unbalance that, and it's something that they need to be able to do. And it doesn't mean that they aren't going to, it's just that right now that's not in balance yet, right? And you had the Justice card in reverse too, so that would make sense. And Nature in this deck, this is about being able to like take some time to get in nature, whether it's just stepping outside for a minute, taking a walk, looking at the trees in your backyard, like whatever it is, and just like embracing that in a way that you normally would pass up, just because we get wrapped up in like the day-to-day, and when we're trying to balance, we think the last thing that we have time for, right, is to just take some time to connect with nature. But in this deck, it is just saying that that might be something very helpful for them right now, or that they have neglected. Like if they were somebody that already kind of did make time for this once in a while, it's like they haven't been able to right now for some reason. And that could have been maybe why the World was in reverse when it came out too. The Seven of Wands, this is like defensive energy. It's like putting a guard up about this balance. It's like they aren't able to balance. And maybe that's why this Nine of Wands in reverse, maybe you guys aren't able to pull together on something you were going to move forward on, due to your partner kind of being guarded about like, or maybe they're just really like standing their ground about something, because really they're just feeling like they're having a little more trouble balancing out whatever this is, like they thought they could, and there was a feeling like they need to do that, or they just aren't being successful doing that. Okay, bottom of the deck for the soulmates, let's see what that overall energy is. Page of Swords. Okay, so somebody could bring, or maybe they are saying something that kind of throws you off, and maybe that's why this Hermit came out and you guys weren't able to do the crossing the T's and dotting the I's as something that was like planned that way. Because the Page of Swords is typically like a undeveloped message, or just like a, sometimes it could be like just information that comes in kind of like passive aggressively. Like maybe you hear it and somebody says something, they didn't realize what they said, it was probably for the intention of something else, and you picked up information in that from related to something else, if that makes sense. Or you could be walking by in the store hallway of somewhere and you hear somebody talking about something, and it, whatever they were saying, like, was kind of insane, or like it just stuck in your head, right? That's a little about energy. So whether this is the two of you, it's like you aren't able to, because like it's not in the reverse. So it's like this action that was supposed to be carried out, it was poor, like, I don't know if it was poor planning, or just this, maybe the effect of this like unbalance kind of bleeding through. But that's the overall energy. It's having to kind of just go with things, even though you know that it isn't perfect. It's sometimes it's stuff that isn't really, let's say, like, fair in a way, and that could be why this Justice in reverse is here too. It's like something wasn't fair and it was expected to go smoothly, so you go and do some introspection. But when you do that, I feel like you find some gold during that time, even though it's kind of a weird energy. Like, you find something to do with the sun. It like illuminates what this injustice was, and it brings like some sort of better understanding to it. And maybe I feel like in this sense, I think you're going to be the one that helps pull this all together for the two of you. I feel like you guys had plans and they fell through, and it wasn't really something you had worried that would fall through. Like, it was expected to go kind of well. I don't know if you guys are trying to move. Three of Pentacles was the overall energy for your 4 cards. So I feel like maybe you guys were trying to move or buy something or go on a vacation or something like that. But like, there was a lack of balance of something, like maybe some financial stuff kind of came up, or some unjust thing with money. But you doing that introspection, you're going to find out why, because the sun illuminates whatever it's near, right? Which can a lot of times bring truth or just abundance. And I think in this case, being next to the Justice in reverse, I think that by this introspection with the Hermit, you're going to be able to clear your mind and like connect enough to figure out why this injustice is happening, and maybe even find a way out of it. Bring some truth and some clarity to that. And then, maybe try to do something outside with your partner, because if when this comes out in the deck, it's like being able to do this is going to help them get their clarity as well. I think you'll do it on your own by going into that hermit mode, and just doing that introspection. And that's when the sun will illuminate the injustice here, whatever it is. Like, either somebody's not seeing something, or something comes up and it just kind of wasn't right, and it set you guys back from these plans. I want to pull one clarity here for you guys. Let's do, I want to know what the 7 of Wands is here. It's like maybe they're just being defensive because they're feeling like they don't have control over this unbalance or this unexpected setback that kind of turned things around. And maybe because they're not feeling good about it, they're putting a guard up, and it might seem like they're being like mad or just negative to you, but I think it's more just like them being insecure about this unexpected unbalance and kind of putting their guard up towards you. What's some more information about this 7 of Wands for Libra's love interest for April? What information about this 7 of Wands can I get? It's like they're determined, though. It's like their guard's up because they're determined, and this balance is not setting well with them, because the world is something that's destined, and it's like it's success in full cycle. But next to that 2 of Pentacles in reverse, it was Like something isn't coming full cycle that is supposed to yet. It's not, with the world, it's going to happen. It's just, it's delayed because the world is a major thing that is kind of meant to be. But there's some delay to it and it's unbalanced. So I think it's really throwing them off. But they're still determined to do this. They're not giving up yet, but it's like a guarded kind of like determination. All right. Ace of Swords. So the Page of Swords was the overall. Ace of Swords. So some communication comes in either from them or to them. And it's regarding that injustice and whatever is unfair that kind of pops up unexpectedly. That's what this is about. I think that they are really determined about this new idea or whatever it is, and they get communication. The Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, it's like somebody says something, whether it's them or to them, and it's about that new start, that new beginning, that new plan, or maybe that communication is just kind of harsh. I mean, in this deck, it's like this snake that has this sword in the distance. It's kind of cool. They're determined to activate that sword, but that communication that comes in with that Page of Swords is, I'm wondering if something just came up, or maybe you guys had somebody like maybe somebody stole from you. If you guys have a business together, I feel like this is definitely going to be resonating for you. You guys, if you and your love interest have a business together and you were planning on building on it or doing something different or some new project, and you had no like doubt that it would be smooth and something happens, it's like you weren't able to go through with it because of some sort, because the Page of Swords sometimes can be like a spy or like spying, or it could also be because it's like, remember I said like some sort of thing where you have to deal with some of the stuff even though it was unfair, or like forces working against you but still cutting through it. It's like some shady activity, like stealing, maybe somebody stole from you, like an employee, and like that's what the Sun is illuminating with this injustice. It's like somebody's gonna tell you something though, and that's gonna lead to you guys finding this out. Maybe some sort of not being able to do something with them, and they like lash out and like steal money, or I don't know. If not that, then just some sort of financial thing comes up, and maybe some legal weird thing that you get a call and like you aren't able to do this building on that you had planned. I'm gonna pull one more for the Sun. I want to know if it's, what's some more information about the Sun for Libra, April. Is this illuminating truth, or is this like getting this injustice in balance? Okay, so the Four of Cups, it's like something you weren't paying attention to before. Yeah, because like, I feel, okay, so if this is you this month or coming up, if you find yourself in a state where you were kind of in your head all about these plans, that Three of Pentacles, the overall, and you were really focused on it, and you were kind of just in your like tunnel vision world because you were just about to finish up with that. Because of that, you might have been distracted to something and like missed something and not able to go through with that later because you like accidentally made a mistake when you were so focused, or you forgot about something important because you were so concentrated. Because this Four of Cups, it's like it's right in front of you but you're not even looking at it. It's like wandering eye. In the original Rider-Waite, it's more about not wanting to take what the universe is handing you because, you know, you don't even want what you have, or it's not good enough, or whatever it is. But this one, it's like that sort of kind of same energy, but it's like the wandering eye. It's like, yeah, you see it right in front of you and you know you have to do it, but you're so concentrated that it kind of like slips out of your peripheral into your peripheral. And that's when this injustice happens, whether it's a mistake or just something that costs you money, like a mistake that just costs money. Because, or maybe you weren't looking and somebody stole from the business or from you guys and you weren't able to do this plan. This is a pretty cool card. He's like on this book and he has this chalice. He's looking at this, he's like looking at this crystal, like I think it's obsidian ball. And due to that, he's missing something, like the wandering eye. And that's where this injustice happens, or this slip up. So hopefully that can help you if this hasn't happened yet, which I don't believe it has. I think it'll be the first half of April. Maybe that'll help. Just try to, if you're really concentrated on something right now, just try not to get so tunnel vision that you might accidentally forget something little that you normally don't because of this project. Some sort of building on, because maybe something's going on with them too, like where you're not seeing it because you're so focused on something and they get defensive and unbalanced too. But this could just be you guys together. I really feel like it is something that you guys are working on together. So if that helps you, and this seems like it resonates so far, I would say just try not to let your eye wander too much, because you might be able to avoid that slip up, that mistake, or not seeing something being done around that might cost you, or just kind of slow down this trip or plan that you guys have. I'm just going to pull one more for an end advice for you to end the reading off. What's the best advice to end with here for Libra, April 2019? What do they need to know the most to get through this energy? April 2019 for Libra in love. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. So this is going to change. This isn't going to be something that, when it happens, it's not going to be something that like takes forever to process. There's a couple indicators here already that it was something that was the finishing stages and was expected to come full cycle. But this energy shift here, it will turn. Just stay in balance. Be aware. Maybe try to get out in nature with your partner. Just get away from the situation, even though it might seem like you can't because it's getting heated up. Like that might actually really help. And don't let your eye wander. Pay attention to things even when you're really focused, because there's just indicators that the energy might distract you during that time. So the wheel will turn. It is destined. This plan that you have, if this resonates for you, if this plan is getting halted, it's just a setback. It's still going to happen. And this isn't going to be a hang around energy for a while. So if it is something that you aren't able to, kind of avoid, then it won't be like very long that the funk kind of hangs around and you're able to get through it. It'll be short lived. But if you are able to dodge it in any way, either way, this is supposed to happen. So it will. It'll just be a small setback. So I hope that helps you. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'd love to hear in the comments too what's going on here. If this seems like it resonates for you, please let me know. And thanks. I'll see you soon.